while Scrappy was lying in a hospital bed fighting for his life. The one woman he trusted the most was out living like he didn't exist. What started as a health scare turned into a full-blown betrayal, and when the truth surfaced, it wasn't just Scrappy's heart that was broken. It was the image of a ride-or-die love that fans once believed in. This isn't just drama, it's a fall from grace. The streets had been whispering for weeks. But nobody was ready for the truth when it finally hit. Scrappy, Atlanta's own prince of the trap and reality TV's hardened heart, was in a battle for his life. But while fans were praying, friends were posting, and family was gathering strength, Bambi was making moves that no one expected. Let's rewind. Just a few months before everything went public, Scrappy and Bambi were on what many believed was the verge of a reconciliation, after years of public spats, love, and hip-hop chaos, and silent nights filled with suspicion. They had been spotted out together, attending their daughter's school function, smiling in co-parenting harmony. The internet, always hungry for a redemption arc, took that moment and ran with it. "They're back together!" blogs screamed. The Prince and Queen of the South reunited. But behind those smiles was a war, not of fists or insults, but of silence, distance, and betrayal. Sources close to the couple now reveal that while Scrappy was struggling with mounting health issues, something he had kept incredibly private, Bambi had already checked out emotionally, and maybe even romantically. It started small. Missed calls, delayed replies, excuses wrapped in professionalism. She's working on her brand, people said. She's just focused. But those close to Scrappy knew something was wrong. He wasn't just distant, he was deteriorating. He'd lost weight. He was sleeping through studio sessions. He canceled multiple public appearances. For a man who'd built his image on being unbreakable, this sudden invisibility was alarming. Then came the hospital visit. Late one night, Scrappy was rushed to the ER. Reports say he collapsed at home after complaining of chest pains and extreme fatigue, though the hospital kept things private due to HIPAA laws. Insiders confirmed he was admitted for serious complications related to stress and untreated conditions. Some say it was blood pressure. Others say worse. The very next day, while fans and friends lit up Twitter with hashtag Pray for Scrappy, Bambi posted a selfie, smiling, hair laid. No caption, it was subtle, maybe even innocent to the average eye. But to those watching the timeline closely, it felt off. The internet started asking questions. Why hasn't Bambi said anything about Scrappy? Why is she acting like everything's normal? That's when the real tea started boiling. An anonymous DM leaked to a popular gossip blogger claiming that Bambi had been seen at an upscale Atlanta lounge. Not alone. The message included timestamps, partial photos, and a bold accusation. Bambi hugged up on a dude who definitely wasn't Scrappy. Looked cozy, real cozy. Most brushed it off at first. People gossip. Couples argue. But then another leak dropped, this time from a verified source in the entertainment scene. Bambi was seen again, this time entering a luxury condo in Buckhead, with a well-known promoter, a man who had previously been linked to multiple reality stars. Still, fans were willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she and Scrappy were fully broken up. Maybe they were on a break. But when Scrappy's mother, the ever-outspoken Mama D, caught wind of the whispers, she exploded. In a now-deleted Instagram Live, Mama D let the world have it. How? Are you out here in these streets chillin' while my son is in a hospital bed? Don't play with me. That boy gave you his name, gave you babies, and this is how you do him. I'll never forgive that. The clip went viral within hours, and just like that, the public started turning on Bambi. But Bambi wasn't silent for long. She posted a cryptic message on her story. Don't assume you know the full story, just because you hear the loudest voice. That was it. No name mentioned, no denial, no clarity. People were confused, but some insiders weren't. According Two close friends of the couple, Bambi had grown numb to Scrappy's struggles. Years of fighting, emotional distance, and private accusations had apparently built a wall so thick that even a health scare couldn't break it. She felt like she had already been fighting for too long, one source said. In her mind, she had already left. But for Scrappy, lying in a hospital bed, disconnected from the world that once praised him, that betrayal cut deeper than anything he'd faced in his career. Multiple friends reported that Scrappy found out about Bambi's outings from the blogs. Imagine that. You're hooked up to IVs, barely holding it together. And your phone buzzes with headlines calling your wife a cold-hearted cheater. He reportedly told one friend, "I ain't even mad no more. Just numb. You give everything, and when you are at your lowest, she is outside." The public didn't know whether to feel sympathy, rage, or confusion. Were we witnessing a classic case of a broken couple falling apart? Or was this a calculated betrayal? Because right as Scrappy was released from the hospital, frail, quiet, and avoiding cameras, Bambi went full glam. She appeared at a high-profile ATL fashion event, red carpet ready, smiling from ear to ear. Again, no mention of Scrappy. No public statement. No words. The world began to see the cracks for what they were, irreparable. But what made it worse? Bambi was reportedly pitching a new reality show deal, focused solely on her journey, her business, and her truth. Fans were torn. Was she reclaiming her identity after years of being in Scrappy's shadow? Or was this a cold-hearted move to capitalize on chaos? No one had the answers yet, but one thing was clear. The love story we all rooted for was now a battlefield. And the person left bleeding was the one who gave it all, Scrappy, and the betrayal. It wasn't just about a new man. It was about timing. It was about silence. It was about being left in the dark physically, emotionally, and spiritually, while fighting for your life. And if you think this is where it ends, think again. Because in part 2, secrets from the past resurface, and Bambi's connection to another major ATL figure sends shockwaves through the entire city. Scrappy, not staying silent anymore. The hospital walls may have held Scrappy's pain, but the streets held his truth. And that truth was starting to unravel fast. By the time Scrappy was discharged and back home, recovering in silence, the blogosphere had already ignited. Rumors of Bambi's late-night appearances weren't just rumors anymore. More photos emerged, more videos, and now, new names were being thrown into the fire. One name stood out: Rodney Big Row Freeman, a well-connected Atlanta promoter, with a smooth smile and a history of comforting celebrity women during transitions. Big Row wasn't new to this. He was true to this. Known for luxury car rentals, bottle service nights, and connections in every major ATL hotspot. Big Row had always hovered on the edges of the love and hip-hop world, but never quite stepped into the limelight. Until now, eyewitnesses claim Bambi had been spotted at his condo multiple times in just 1 week. One source even said she stayed overnight, only leaving around noon the next day, looking unbothered and bougie as ever. But here's where things turned from gossip to gasoline. Just days after Scrappy got home, a clip surfaced online of Time. I surfaced online of Bambi and Big Row having what looked like a heated argument in a restaurant parking lot. At first glance, it looked like a lover's quarrel. But lip readers and fans dissected every second, and one phrase seemed clear. "You said he was done." That one sentence cracked the internet in half. Was Bambi already planning life after Scrappy, even before his health issues? Was she making bold moves under the assumption that he was done physically, emotionally, and publicly? Scrappy's close friend, rapper Young Jock, added fuel to the fire with a shady Instagram story. "Some of y'all claim you ride or die, but really, you're just waiting for the switch to flip." No names, no tags. But fans knew exactly who he was talking about. The silence from Scrappy was deafening. The man who once rapped about loyalty, who once stood tall through cheating rumors, family drama, and public embarrassment, was now mute. But silence has power. It builds tension. And when Scrappy finally broke it, he didn't do it through a song, a tweet, or a TV appearance. He did it through a private voicemail that got leaked by a source too close to deny. In the audio, Scrappy's voice cracked with both pain and resolve. "I held you down when everybody said to walk away. I put my career second for our family. And you out here smiling with dudes while I'm in a hospital bed? Nah, you showed me who you really are. I just wish I saw it sooner." That clip, just 23 seconds long, became the most shared audio on urban blogs that week. Fans were in full defense mode. Team Scrappy started trending. Even old cast members from Love and Hip Hop, ATL, weighed in. Erica Dixon, his ex and mother of his daughter, posted a single quote, "Sometimes God allows betrayal to show you what peace really feels like." The shade was not subtle, but what made it worse, far worse, was what came next. A DM leak from one of Bambi's close friends suggested that Scrappy had been battling more than just health issues. The message revealed he was having anxiety attacks, panic episodes. She got tired, said she didn't sign up to play nurse. That line exploded. People debated for days. Was it wrong for Bambi to walk away if she was emotionally drained? Or did loyalty mean staying? Especially when your partner is literally fighting to stay alive. It wasn't black and white. But in the court of public opinion, Bambi was losing fast, especially when an old recording resurfaced from 2019, where Bambi, in a now-deleted podcast interview, said, "I'm loyal to a fault. Even when he doesn't deserve it, I still hold it down. But the moment I feel like it's just me fighting for us, I'm out." Was this moment the out she predicted? Some fans defended her. They said Bambi had been through too much, that Scrappy wasn't innocent, that maybe this betrayal wasn't sudden, just long overdue. But others weren't so forgiving. They pointed out the timing, how she disappeared during his health crisis, how she partied while he healed, and how she avoided any public acknowledgement of his struggle. Then came the next bombshell, a new deal. Reports confirmed that Bambi had signed a solo reality project deal with a streaming platform. No Scrappy, no Love and Hip Hop crew, just her story, the pitch, her journey to independence after emotional burnout. The internet was stunned. One fan tweeted, "So you betray him, then flip the narrative and get a bag off it? Nah, that's cold." The backlash was brutal, but Bambi stood tall, posting, "Again, y'all don't know the half. I'm just getting started." And just like that, the betrayal narrative became a war of perspectives. Was this about betrayal or rebranding? Meanwhile, Scrappy was still silent, but sources say he had begun recording again, quietly, privately. Friends say the booth had become his therapy, and that what he was working on wasn't just music, it was a story. His story, unfiltered, undiluted, unapologetic. One friend said he tried to save images. This next project, he calls names. And just when the dust seemed to be settling, Mama D returned to the scene with one final haymaker. In another fiery live, she called out Bambi directly. "Girl, you may fool the gram, but you didn't fool me. You were out before he got sick. I know, I saw the signs. I begged you to stay, and you chose fame. That's your legacy now. Fame over family." Brutal. By the end of that week, the lines had been drawn. Scrappy's fans had rallied. Bambi's followers defended her. But the biggest question still loomed. What happened behind closed doors that neither one of them dared to say out loud? Because if Scrappy's silence was building toward something explosive, and Bambi was turning her pain into profit, then we were all sitting in the front row to a storm about to erupt. And trust me, in part 3, that storm is going to change everything. The silence had stretched long enough. Scrappy, always the soldier, always the Southern gentleman with a short fuse but a loyal heart, was done healing in the shadows. And while Bambi continued to show off her glow-up red carpets and curated captions about healing, the man she once called her king had something else on his mind. Redemption. But not the kind that plays nice. Friends close to Scrappy confirmed that the booth sessions had turned from therapy to weaponry. Track after track, verse after verse, he was building a musical narrative not just about pain, but about betrayal, lies, and how love can rot from the inside out. When it's fed by ego and star power, and it was more than music, insiders leaked that Scrappy was in talks with a major network to film a tell-all special. Not Love and Hip Hop, not a reunion, but something raw, unscripted, and deeply personal. Think Red Table Talk meets Trap Confessions. His goal, not revenge. Just released that, but as news of the upcoming project started circulating, Bambi fired back, not with words, but with footage. Yes. Footage. In a move that shocked even her closest fans, Bambi posted a teaser clip from her upcoming solo show. Video, barely a minute long, showed her in tears sitting in front of a therapist. I felt alone for so long. I was there physically, but emotionally, I was gone years ago. Cut to another clip of her arguing on the phone, blurred speaker, shouting, "Stop acting like I left you when you were sick. You left me a long time before that." The teaser ended with the words, "Her side, her truth, coming soon." Boom. The war wasn't just public. It was now strategic, calculated, and entertainment gold. The internet split. Team Scrappy claimed Bambi was spinning the story for sympathy, trying to rewrite the timeline and make herself the victim. Team Bambi argued that Scrappy had always played the sad boy card when things didn't go his way, and that this was her reclaiming her identity. But then something unexpected happened. Kendra Robinson, the wife of rapper Young Jock and a well-known voice of reason in the ATL reality scene, stepped in with a shocker. On her podcast, Kendra revealed, "I love them both, but let's stop pretending this was sudden. Scrappy was spiraling way before his health issues, and Bambi, she tried longer than most would have. This wasn't betrayal. This was survival. Cue chaos." Kendra's opinion held weight. She had no reason to lie, no clout to chase. And if she was siding with Bambi, or at least softening the narrative, maybe things weren't as black and white as everyone thought. But Scrappy wasn't staying silent anymore. In a surprise Instagram live, he went raw. No background music, no filter, it's just him. Hoodie on, face tight, voice low. Ain't gone bash nobody, but let's keep it real. When I was in that hospital, all I wanted was my wife, not fans, not flowers her. But she was gone, not just physically, spiritually, mentally. Gone. So yeah, I'm hurt. I'm rebuilding, but I'm never gone. Let y'all rewrite me, like I'm the villain. I ain't perfect, but I loved her, right? Tears welled in his eyes. And in that moment, the internet fell silent. It wasn't a performance. It was a man finally speaking from the hole left in his chest. The live hit over 3 million views in 24 hours. Fans flooded his comments. "We got you, Scrap. Real men hurt too. Keep healing, King." But if anyone thought that was the end of the saga, they underestimated the ATL. Because just days later, a final twist emerged that nobody saw coming. Screenshots, text messages, receipts. A well-known stylist dropped a bombshell post that she later deleted, claiming Bambi had been in contact with Cameron, yes, Harlem's own, just weeks before Scrappy's hospital incident. Not only that, but she hinted at inappropriate conversations and alleged plans to collaborate on a quiet media move. While there was no hard proof of anything romantic, the timing raised eyebrows. Why was Bambi, a Southern reality queen, suddenly trying to get close to a New York rap legend who had just weeks earlier made headlines for dissing Jim Jones and involving Chrissy in messy drama? The streets connected the dots. Was Bambi aligning herself with power players outside ATL to build her post-Scrappy identity? One fan said it best, she's not just leaving Scrappy. She's rebranding completely. Scrappy didn't respond publicly to the Cameron connection, but sources say he saw the messages. And that was the final nail in the coffin. He stopped talking about healing together. He stopped calling her my wife, Kay. It was just about protecting his legacy. His new single, titled While I Was Down, a lyrical bullet too. Betrayal, timing, and emotional abandonment. And as the outro played on a snippet, he posted, one line cut through the beat like a razor. You chose your moment while I was on monitors. Thought I was finished. But now I'm just dominant. The war was over, but the wounds would linger. Bambi. She moved forward. Her show aired. It got mixed reviews. Called her brave. Others called her performative. Either way, she stayed unbothered, focused, pushing the brand, Scrappy. Key? Back in the studio, touring again, and most importantly, smiling. Not because he was over it, but because he survived it. As for love, that would take time, trust, even longer. But the message was clear. Betrayal doesn't break real ones, it builds them. And no matter where fans stood, Team Bambi, Team Scrappy, or Team Truth, one thing was undeniable. We all watched a love story become a cautionary tale, a reminder that not all heartbreak happens in silence. Sometimes, the world watches, this story is far from over, and now we want to hear your thoughts. Was Bambi really wrong for walking away when Scrappy needed her most? Or did she finally put herself first after years of emotional weight? Was Scrappy a victim of betrayal,